Good afternoon, grinders. This is your MLB SimLabs analysis for Friday, July 25th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. Remember, later today, Grinders Live, 5 p.m. Eastern, followed by Crunch Time. We got a bunch of stuff on the weather report that we may need to look at today. Some scattered showers around the Baltimore area. That game is going to be very important because we got probably Baltimore bats, maybe popular Dean Kramer, popular SP2 on today's slate. So we got to look out for that. I guess Detroit, Detroit probably not a problem. St. Louis maybe a problem. Pop-up storms, and then Cleveland and Kansas City, low-scoring game. I don't know if that's going to matter all that much, but Kevin Roth is on crunch time, leading up until lock with the weather radar. Is the game going to play? When is it going to get delayed? He has a very good track record on that stuff, so tune in later then. But I'm gonna treat it as if all these games are playing. But I mean, the most important one is this Rockies Orioles game. It's a 7:05 p.m. Eastern game, so we should know a lot more right before lock. Yeah, because Dean Kramer 8K, probably gonna be one of the chalkier pitchers on today's slate against Colorado. The other one, if you're gonna spend up, I mean, the thing about that today's slate is that there's a bunch of offenses to choose from, but not like no standout pitchers. Like Brian Wu, 10.5K against the Angels. He has the highest optimal rate, high strikeout prop on the board, 23.4% chance of being optimal, 18.9 fantasy point mean projection. But it's not like it's not like one of these where 20, 21, 22 median points. I mean, there's a lot of pitchers between like 16 and 18, and there's a whole bunch in the 13, 14s. I mean, half the pitchers on the slate are playable. Are playable. Wu has a 23% optimal rate. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pitchers that between a 10 and 15% optimal rate. Okay. So you could choose a ton of these pitchers. Some of them include Mackenzie Gore, 8,700 against Minnesota. Nick Pivetta, 10.2K against St. Louis. Logan Webb, 9,300 against the Mets. Shota Imanaga, 9,900 against the White Sox. We got like cheap guys like Jeffrey Springs, 6,900 against Houston. We also have like Nathan Eovaldi, 9,600 against Atlanta. And then some guys in like the 7Ks, like Jose Berrios and Will Warren. They have like 13-point projections. Gavin Williams at 8,100. Zebby Matthews at 7,100. Jose Soriano at 7,200. Like all these are viable. They're viable pitchers on today's slate. So I would lead more by stacks than by. Do I want to play a Brian Wu, Dean Kramer lineup? I don't know if that's necessary. That would be the highest projected, point per dollar lineup. But these optimal rates are not like through the roof, right? That's probably the chalkiest highest probability combination. But I'm not going to be all that enamored if SimLabs just gives me 2 pitchers that aren't those pitchers, right? If I have a Nathan Eovaldi, Jeffrey Springs lineup, okay, that works. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, based on these optimal rates, and 10.5K for Brian Wu is it a good matchup? The Angels are a high strikeout team, but I mean they do have a lot of power. Brian Wu typically doesn't give up a ton. Do I feel like safe with Brian Wu? I guess, but I mean it's quite possible Brian Wu scores 18 fantasy points, and there's 10 other pitchers that score in the same range that you don't need him. So I don't really care if SimLabs gives me a ton of them or not. Then we get our stacks page here on RotoGrinders. Highest optimal rate stack as of right now, the Yankees, but not like by a ton, 11.81% optimal rate. We got the Dodgers, we got the Orioles, we got the Padres, and it kind of scales down from there. The Nationals, the Cubs, the Athletics. I mean, just from a price perspective, I'm assuming Baltimore and Washington. I mean, the Washington doesn't have that high of a team total. No, 3.73. Maybe they're like the vomit. They're not that vomity though, right? Baltimore is actually cheap. Baltimore's probably going to be the chalkiest stack on the slate. I think they are. I mean, the Yankees and the Dodgers, they obviously have. I mean, they don't even have a higher implied point total, right? Let's take a look here. Dodgers 4.75, Yankees 5.49, Baltimore 5.59. Yeah, Baltimore's the highest implied team total. We take a look at their lineup. I mean, it's not expensive to get them. Like the Yankees, you got Aaron Judge in there, Cody Bellinger, Jazz Chisholm. They're all in the 5Ks. But the Baltimore Orioles lineup, I mean, you got Tyler O'Neill in there, finally back, 3,300. He's probably going to be a very chalky one-off on today's slate. But I mean, the most expensive guy is Gunnar Henderson at 4,700, Jordan Westburg 4,600. I mean, Baltimore's pretty cheap. Jackson Holliday's 3,900 against Kyle Freeland, who is not the biggest strikeout pitcher anyway. And it's 94 degrees. Wind is slightly blowing out and hot and humid out in Baltimore. So probably going to be the I'm going to assume SimLabs is going to like it. So I'm going to put in 150 here in SimLabs. Show you exactly how I use the tool here at RotoGrinders. Playing small field contests like I normally do. Typically, I play 1 to 3 lineups on a given night. I usually I build this on my phone. We have a SimLabs app on my iPhone. I just, plug it in. You log into your account here at RotoGrinders. If you're a, Combo Lite, Combo Pro subscriber. And, and I listen to Crunch Time. Make sure that Kevin Rudd tells me that the games are good, right? Good to go. No rain. No rain in there. Stay away from this game. And then, put in what I want. Sometimes, we have Dean Kramer is going to be overowned on today's slate as the most overowned pitcher, but it's not like absurd, right? 27% projected ownership, 15% optimal rate. Like that's not like ridiculous. But I may make some adjustments as far as, do I want to play an Oriole? What do the Orioles stacks look like? What do the Yankees stacks look like? What do lineups look like with these two pitchers? But sometimes I just run 150. I'm just like, let's see what shows up. So let's see what happens right now. And this gets updated throughout the day. So while I'm running this now at in the mid-afternoon, there's something you should be doing closer to lock. As lineups come out, as weather comes in, as umpire assignments come in. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look, it already starts. With all the Baltimore, all the Orioles. Let's go to exposures. Let's take a look at the pitchers. Right. Ton Brian Wu, 40%. Yeah, he's the highest projected pitcher on the slate. A lot of Jeffrey Springs at 6,900 against the Astros. Right. We have him as pretty under-owned, I guess. 8% owned. Optimal about 12% of the time. And then it's kind of like spread out from there. Just like I said before, you could play like so many different pitchers on today's slate. Even Kyle Freeland against the Orioles. I mean, because he's like what? 5,500. He's not going to be owned at all. We have him at like 1% owned. But here, Berrios, Gore, Kramer, Webb, Springs. But Springs is a cheap pitcher. I don't mind that. Then we look at teams and get a lot of Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles. A lot of Red Sox today. Where do they show up? Red Sox, okay. We have them as like over-owned, though. Right? 4.5% chance of being optimal ownership in aggregate as a stack, 7.74%. Is there a reason for this? Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, I guess your sheet is cheap at 3K. You got Trevor Story, it's at 3,700. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're cheap. They have 4.75 implied team total. It's 85 degrees and, wind blowing out and it's, hot and humid in Boston. I guess we don't have any issues in Boston, right? Maybe a brief late start, nothing beyond that. Okay. Don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I guess the Red Sox, I guess. We have them as over-owned. I don't mind them. Then we got the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Astros, and then a whole bunch of other teams. But I mean, I mean, I don't mind this. Like Pavetta, Springs. Here's Westberg, Urias, Henderson, Laureano, O'Neill with Butler, Kurtz, and Real Muto. Like, there you go. Done. Here's a Woo Springs lineup with Aaron Judge and Trent Grissom. Right? So you can play, assuming Kobe Mayo makes the lineup, play him, Holiday, Westberg, Henderson, O'Neill, Judge, Grissom, Springs, and Woo. Done. Right? Especially for small field. I mean, these are kind of chalky-ish lineups. But it's not really that much. You play Lawrence Butler at 2.66%. You're playing 8% owned Jeffrey Springs. You're playing 11% owned Pavetta instead of a 30% on Brian Wu, 27% on Brian Wu. I mean, that's fine. Right? You get Astros lineup, I guess, up here as well. Astros, Padres. Here's a Yankees lineup. The Andy Diaz is a one-off. Right? There's nothing. Dean Kramer, Jeffrey Springs. You're playing two cheaper pitchers. Then you play the Yankee stack with Rice, Chisholm, Vivas, Judge, Stanton. You still get like some of the main guys in there. Henderson, O'Neill, and Yandy Diaz is a one. Like, this is fine also. I mean, this is a good lineup as well. There's another Yankee stack. Right, but I could itemize these down. I could be like, well, let me take a look specifically at the Yankee stacks. Let me go specifically at the Orioles stacks. So like maybe we take a look here. Maybe I don't want to play like Tyler O'Neill as a one-off. So let's say we wanted to make a Boston stack. So I'm just showing you how to use this. So let's say we wanted to make a Boston stack, but I didn't want to use Tyler O'Neill as a one-off. Right? So I exclude Tyler O'Neill. I lock in team stack Boston. But like, what do these lineups look like? And maybe I want to play Jeffrey Springs in these lineups. I want to put Jeffrey Springs in. So I want to look at lineups with this configuration. I'm going to put in 20 to make it go quickly and see what the ratings are of these lineups. What do they look like? What does the rest of the lineup look like? And are there combinations that look like this that they rate out well? A lot of times you put in a lot of stuff and it's like, I want this, and the lineups come back and the SimLabs kind of just like vomits at you with low-rated liners. It means probably don't play those lineups. Probably means that combination you're looking at, probably not a good idea. So here we go, right? Mackenzie Gore, Jeffrey Springs, Boston stack with Butler, Ohtani, and Conforto. Done. Easily. Here's a Woo Springs lineup. These both rate out very well. Ohtani and Langoliers and Andujar as one-offs. Right? Once we take out like the O'Neill as a one-off, we're not getting really Orioles in these lineups. We're getting more Dodgers, Red Sox, which basically is stacking the game. Here's Woo Springs, Boston stack with Brandon March, Matt Olson, and Drake Baldwin. Done. All these lineups rate out pretty well. But it's quite noticeable that once you take out Tyler O'Neill, like I'm not getting like these 3-man, 2-man, 3-man Orioles stuff at all in these lineups. And then we just get some garbage lineups at the bottom. Then we also could do the opposite. We could go, okay, let's say I want to lock in Tyler O'Neill, right? Lock in Tyler O'Neill and lock in the Baltimore stack. So I know I'm going to get Tyler O'Neill in my stack. Maybe you don't want to play Kobe Mayo in your stack, so you could exclude Kobe Mayo, assuming he makes the lineup. You could do something like this. You could lock in the team stack and then put in the players that you want in that stack. What do these lineups look like? Man, we still have Jeffrey Springs in here. Let's see what these what do these Baltimore lineups look like? I mean, obviously we have the ones from the top from the 150 set before. I think some of those had Kobe Mayo in it. Seems like every time in the afternoon when I do when I see Orioles lineups and I do Kobe Mayo and he doesn't make the lineup. Right, we get the lineup that we just saw from the beginning. Right, but here's one with Cowser in it. Right, you don't get many of them. Right, so you get 2 of them. up here. Oh, Imanaga Springs, Pavetta Springs. But these are perfectly playable lineups. 1% on Spencer Torkelson in this lineup with Josh Lowe at 2.6. You're done. You're done. I mean, the overall ownership of this lineup is not like, it's not ridiculous. You can play Oriole stacks today and still be fine. There's enough pitching options on today's slate that are going to be like 8 to 12% owned. And there are going to be one-offs that are 2% owned that are fine, that you could get away with an Orioles lineup today. Same for a Yankees lineup. Same for, truthfully, even though Boston we have as over-owned, truthfully, the same for a Boston lineup. Right? Houston's, you wouldn't play Springs and Houston together, obviously. Houston's another one that's cheap. But their optimal rate is 3.46%. I think I'd much rather play Jeffrey Springs today than the Astros, based on ownership alone. Same thing for, like, on the other side for Emmett Sheehan. I think based on SimLabs prefers you to play Boston over Sheehan. But for leverage purposes, just understand that at 6,400, he doesn't have to get you much. He's going to be like 2% owned. But, does he pitch more than 80 pitches? On a 13-game slate, I'm not a big fan of playing, regardless of price, not a big fan of playing pitchers that can't pitch 90 plus, or at least get the upside of possibly pitching 100 pitches. Emmett Sheehan probably is not that. What's his strikeout prop? His strikeout prop is 4.5. Okay, not horrible. But at that point, I'd rather just play like Will Warren in not the greatest of matchups. So there you go. That's SimLabs. I'll do this on the phone when we're at 6:30 p.m. tonight. All the features of SimLabs here that I show on desktop are available to you on your phone. Now, obviously, you could actually open up your mobile web browser and use it. It's a little bit clunky because of the all the little buttons and stuff like that. But we do have a SimLabs app in the App Store, and it has you load it up and it displays everything in more of a mobile-friendly environment. And you can pretty much do everything. Can you sync lineups and download lineups? No, you're not supposed. Why would you be doing that on your phone? Right. So some of these little advanced functions may not be available, but you could set your advanced settings. You could look at exposures. You could load up your templates. Right. You could pick everything here. You could lock in your stacks and your players. You could do everything you want on your mobile phone. And it's just as fast as the desktop. And you could get this as part of a combo light package, or cheapest package. Get full access to SimLabs for NFL, NBA, MLB, and PGA. Our databases, or for our research tools like Plate IQ, Court IQ, Gridiron IQ. You want to look up all the detailed statistics on every player. Especially in baseball, we got tons. Pitch dynamics and splits and sorted any way you want. You can do that here. And then you get all of our comprehensive tools, articles, rankings, podcasts, videos. Cheese's $1 Million Musings that you should read every weekday. Part of a combo light package. Combo Pro gets you, everything in the kitchen sink. But combo light is our cheapest way. Easily being able to just build lineups on your phone. And NFL will be back in 5 weeks or so, and then NBA will be back in not just for baseball. We're going to enter a period September, October, November, where 3 sports will be overlapping against each other. You also got hockey, right? If you get the Combo Pro, you'll get hockey stuff there. We don't have SimLabs for hockey. You'll be able to get all of our premium tools for that. So go sign up today. Click on that link in the description. But it's free? Hitting that thumbs up button. So give me that thumb on your way out the door. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live, which is 5 p.m. Eastern later today for Grinders Live, 6:15, 6:20 p.m. for crunch time. You got to tune in. You got to tune in for the weather report, because we got to, especially that Orioles game. Scattered showers and storms could bring a delay if they end up over the ballpark. We're going to need to know that. or whether or not you're playing Dean Kramer or playing the Orioles stack. You need if it's too much, maybe the weather has gotten worse later in the day and there's more of a risk. So Roth will have all that information for you later today, and I'll be back next week for another MLB SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.